Welcome to VOOFA Life with Vivek Raj Shiva Ray. The words of wisdom from an enlightened master. This is your place to experience life to its fullest. Get ready as we dive in.
Question asked by Joshua. VOOFA. First, I want to thank you for such great insight about life. My question is that, why there is so much struggle in life, from meeting my family demands to my health and then coping with the society? Can there be an end to the struggle that we face all the time?
What is struggle? You having hard time to earn enough money? To be financially stable? To cope with the people around you? To be liked by the people around you? To be loved and cared for? To be healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually? What is your struggle? There are only three things higher up in the hierarchy of all that we have known is what we always seem to complain about. The first one is money. The second one is relationships. And the third is health. Since our lives revolve around these three, we seem to be struggling with them. I haven't met anyone who is not complaining about their struggle with these three. If you think that having hard time getting what you want to get, like more money, better relationships, more prestige in the society, and better health is struggle, then just look at your body. Look at your poor body first. To begin, just reflect back on your physical body first. I'm not sure if you have noticed this, but do you know that your body struggles every second to breathe, to be able to function properly? Your body fights so many infections every second. So many cells in your body die every second, and all this keeps on happening without you noticing it. You will usually notice the struggle when your body gets sick. Some organs don't function the way they should. And then you have to be put on a ventilator where you have trouble breathing. But all this time, when your body was healthy, you never recognized health. But you do recognize sickness. You never recognized the struggle that was going on every second within your body to keep you alive, to keep you healthy. But you do recognize illness right away. When your body is struggling constantly to keep you alive and healthy, don't you think that struggle is the way to survive? Then my question is, why complain about struggle? From the day you were born till the day you will die, your body struggles for survival. It is how the nature of our existence is. It is based on our capabilities to survive. It is the fundamental law of nature that every being has to struggle to survive. Look at the animals in the jungle. They have to have a survival instinct to not become prey of their predators. Look at the plants. They struggle from the time they were just seeds, and how hard they have to struggle in harsh weather conditions to survive and grow. Do you think you are any different from them? Do you think you are different from your own body? Wake up and stop complaining. Even animals and plants have situations and circumstances that are not favorable, and they do their best to survive. Then at least you are a human with some brain. Why don't you use it? You will never find any animal or plant complaining or, like you mentioned, coping with the society. I've never known a single animal trying to be like another animal. Like a horse trying to be a giraffe or a camel. And an orange tree trying to be an apple tree. I have also not seen any fish trying to climb a tree and a giraffe trying to swim underwater. So what is wrong with humans? What is wrong with you? Why the whole planet other than the human beings seems more stable, even though the animals and plants do not have any society or any concerns among them about health or money or relationships? Why are they so stable and they are okay with the struggle? And you are unstable with complaints after complaints about struggle, about your struggle, that how you are struggling. Maybe you think that your struggle is more real than animals and plants because you got more brain and they don't. Well, congratulations. You are absolutely right. You are very right. You got brain, and that's the problem. Your brain creates the mind. I repeat, your brain creates the mind. The mind works on a constant evaluation like a weighing machine. Good or bad, black or white, up or down, right or left, long, short, meaningful, non-meaningful, important, non-important, and so on. Now, some of the main capability of your mind is that it can save information, use information, create imaginations, and go back and forth on thoughts. Evaluate and think of future and go in the past memories. Whereas all other beings other than humans do have brain. I'm talking about the actual organ, brain, that has limited capability based on their evolution scale. Most of them can only refer or respond to instant incidents that happens to them, whereas some can save for long-term memory. You can say that they have a predefined set of information that they live with and keep evolving with time. They live in the present more than us. Whereas we preach about living in the present all the time, but no one does. Why? Because we got brain. You see, the universe, the planet, other than human being, is at a state of stillness and blissfulness. Whereas we humans are in a state of constant turmoil, where dissatisfaction has become our second nature. Why? What is the reason for our dissatisfaction? Why we are not happy? Why we are not living in a state of bliss like Buddha, Ramakrishna Paramhansa, or Lao Tzu? Why? Is that because of our brain being so much active between the thoughts, past, future, and judging everyone and everything? Well, the answer is very simple, but deeper than the entire ocean. Let me explain you. There is something called the flow of the universe. The flow, like a regular flow that you see in a river, is the very nature of the universe. The nature of the existence, the nature of the non-existence, and nature surrounding us is rhyming with the flow. It is like music with a rhythm. It is the universal vibration. That's why the wilder beasts know where to start their journey in Africa, and the fish knows where and which direction to swim, and the bird each year go from one place to another. Ever wondered who is telling them to do so? It's the flow. Because of your ego that you are something disconnects you with the entire flow. And it is the very nature of the flow that once you start flowing with it, even death is not death anymore. Flow is the stillness within the turmoil, where when you see the wilder beasts going in one direction, fish swimming in another, and birds flocking together and flying in another, with every wind coming from every direction, the stillness within is the flow. It means that whatever you see other than what goes in your mind is part of the flow. And the only reason why you miss it every time is because your mind disconnects you from the very nature of your being. That is the flow. You think that you are something because of your achievements, because you decided something and you succeeded or failed, and even people who haven't achieved anything. All of you live the ego that you are something. But tell me that if you are the reason, if you are the decision maker of all the changes, good or bad, that happens in your life, then you should be the one who must have decided before being born on this planet to be born on a certain day, to a certain mother, certain time, certain place. And now you should be the one who should decide when you are gonna die and how you're gonna die. And if your answer is that I don't know where I come from and where I will go after I die, I don't know if I decided where to be born, when I will die, what place, what time, then who do you think has been making those decisions for you? Are you getting my point here? Who is deciding this and everything you do for yourself? Well, it's the same flow that the whole existence rhymes with and is the pure state of blissfulness, stillness. Remember, if you are not the one who decides or who knows how it all began and where and how it will all end, you are certainly not the one who knows or understands what goes between those 2 points. You are part of the flow, but your mind has disconnected you. You may have said this 100 times and maybe even thousands of times that you feel disconnected from who you are. Now that is a very sincere statement that you make, but you do not understand the gravity of it. This you say mostly in cases where you are disappointed and dissatisfied with your life. You may have also said that I don't get the gut feeling. These are all sincere statements that we keep on making every now and then in our lives. But we do not reflect and think about it. Again, whenever you say that, you know, you feel disconnected. Like all plants and animals, we too are part of the flow. But because of the constant turmoil in our minds, we get disconnected with the inner self. From our childhood, we are trained to look outside and judge ourselves. We are trained to judge others. We are trained to be a certain way that we are not born for. And that's the place where the struggle begins. The struggle is constantly going on in your mind, and you are embracing that struggle to show to the world that you have achieved something. You know deep inside that it is just your ego. In order to satisfy your ego, you choose to struggle. Your mind is a reflection of your ego. And every struggle that you go through is an outcome of a challenge. Yes, challenge. Try it and you will find that everything that satisfied your ego becomes a challenge first. And your mind takes that challenge and starts to struggle. For example, you are not financially struggling in your real life, but all of a sudden someone tells you about your old school friend, that how lavish lifestyle he is living and how much more money he is making, and you begin to feel unsatisfied even though you are financially doing good. Your ego hits you back that how come I'm not making that kind of money? And your mind takes up the challenge. And you begin to struggle. Now, if you look closely, all this just happened in your mind. This whole turmoil is happening in your mind. You have already started to struggle in your mind. This means that your mind is weak. Your mind has not been trained properly. Remember that the mind loves bigger ego. So the challenge has to be even bigger. And that's your trap. You will see that whenever you give a lesser of a challenge to yourself, your mind will tell you that this is too easy, this is too small for me. Why? Because your ego will not get satisfied doing small things or taking up on small challenges. You see, your mind is constantly talking to you, fooling you into struggle. And when this keeps on happening for a longer time, people get into depression and other psychological disorders. Your mind has been trained since your childhood to be something that you are not. Your struggle can be explained in a very simple scenario where when the flow of water is downstream and all other fishes are going downstream without making any efforts, you alone wants to go upstream. That's your struggle. That's how you are rowing your boat upstream while everybody else is rowing their boat, actually not even making any efforts. They're just going with the flow. That's how your mind fools you into struggle, by going against the flow. So what does the law says here? The law is that the flow is the very nature of our existence and nothing can go against the flow. I repeat, the flow is the very nature of our existence and nothing can go against the flow. So if you understand that part, you will be able to understand that how your mind will now fool you into going against the flow and start the struggle. First within your mind and later in your life. Your life is a reflection of the state of your mind. And if your mind is in constant turmoil, your life will be in turmoil. From what I have known, there is no struggle in life. And there are no challenges. You have taken the challenges out of your ego to prove it to either yourself or to others that you are worth something. You are so weak that even to claim your own existence on this planet, you need others' approval. So, how do you fix this? Well, think about every struggle you are going through right now. Try to find the cause. What are you struggling with? Try to reverse engineer that and you will see that you have taken a challenge that you are unable to achieve. Then ask yourself, why did you take that challenge? And you will find that because of what you saw around or what was told to you, your preconditioning, what people and you yourself expected from you, because of all these reasons, you took that challenge. And then don't just blame others. Blame yourself too. Because you have allowed people around you, you have given them the permission to turn your life upside down. And why did that happen? It happened because you very much liked the fact that this whole challenge thing was something satisfying your ego. To the very core of it, it was you and your ego that actually wanted the challenge. Yes, your ego. So, now you understand why you are struggling? It is your practice of going against the flow by taking up challenges that were out of your ego and were not natural that goes with the flow. Now don't think that I am telling you to stop taking challenges in your life or stop achieving your goals and dreams. What I'm trying to say here is that make sure that every challenge you take from now on is natural and is not triggered by your ego. All you have to see is that it is not triggered by your ego. It comes to you naturally. All the challenges and everything from now on, whatever you do in your life, look that it is not an effect of what others are telling you to do. Because at the very core, you will always find that it is your ego that wants to get satisfied. And that is the reason why you keep on taking up these challenges. So you have to look very closely into your own life and see why you are doing what you're doing. Now, a very simple way to check if your challenge is natural or ego-based is to reverse engineer it to find the cause of why you're doing what you're doing. What is the reason for me taking up this challenge? Is it because of what people expect from me? Is that what I expect from myself? Is it the fast pace of the society that I'm unable to cope with? Is it me trying to show the world that I'm worth something? Is it because I am too emotional about something? Is it because I am very impulsive, angry at something or someone? Is it me feeling incomplete? And you will see that soon you will have an answer. Personal reflection is the best way to know why you are doing what you're doing, and at what point even the natural way of doing things become a struggle. Our mind has too many weakness and disorder that we are unaware of. It can easily fool us. It talks to us all the time. And when it goes out of control, psychologists call it madness. Once you know where the problem is, you can resolve it. Right now, 99% of the people don't think that they have any mental issue, any mental problem. And you can't blame them because they are not even aware of it. Some of them have never looked that deeper in what is going on in their minds, and others are too scared to look at it. This is the place where meditation can be very helpful. So, if you see some light today in what I just said, then try to drop the ego. Try dropping unnatural challenges that are not coming from within, that makes you feel incomplete all the time. Because know that you are complete and nothing can go against the flow. Going against is a struggle, and since you are born and living in the flow, don't allow your mind to go against it. And you know what? Why you can do this? Because you are part of the flow. Not just a part. You are the flow. For listening to me with such love, I'm full of gratitude. Thank you.
Visit us at VOOFALife.com. That is VOOFA Life.com, and become part of the VOOFA family today.